Welcome to Festival Flashback. We've got another episode for you where we reach into the stein of festivals, pull out a random one and then go through it and discuss it. See what it was like. See if it holds up. See what a lot of bands are doing. See if we have been there. Some of them we might have even been there. Many we will not have been there.
Yeah, no.
But as per usual, you just reach in, randomly choose one, and we go from there.
Wow. Da-da-da-da. Dynamo Open Air 2000.
Dynamo. Okay, Dynamo 2000, Dynamo Open Air, Dynamo Festival, don't know how it's actually described, or Dynamo. Yeah, so it's a bit of a funny one, this, because you kind of look at the previous history of Dynamo, I was going to call it Dynamo already, Dynamo, and in 1999, it was a 3-day festival taking place on Friday, Saturday and Sunday of May. And we were a bit puzzled as we were looking it up, because we then got to 2000, and it was one day, just 2 stages. But then going through it, you can see, we don't know the ins and outs of the details, but it's clear something changed.
Yeah, one year was cancelled, one
So
was
21 was cancelled, 2002 was one day, 2003 was cancelled, 2004 was one day, 2005 was one day, and then there was nothing until 2015, where it's been running consistent since then, but as a one-day event. So something definitely changed there. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but we are looking at the year 2000. 2 stages, main stage and the tent stage. Yeah. So we'll go through, what is probably the smaller of the stages, tent stage.
Yeah.
From the year 2000. What was I doing in the year 2000? I just left secondary school.
Yeah, same.
Actually, at the time of this, because it was June 3rd,
My birthday.
I hadn't quite left secondary school. I was, because it was June, so I was almost there. So definitely wouldn't have been at this.
No, definitely not. So, start with Engine.
Engine. No, the name doesn't ring a bell.
No.
The same with Sentenced. Unfortunately, the name doesn't ring a bell, and it isn't hyperlinked, so that suggests it hasn't even got a Wikipedia page.
Kitty.
But then we go what we do know, which is Kitty, the all-female metalers. Maybe a year before this, 99, was maybe their heyday. When did Spit get released?
I reckon it's 99, 2000. So I reckon they'd be pretty good to see at this point in time. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a big fan. I kind of, as a teenager, I was more, wow, they're all girls and they're so angry and raw and stuff like that, And they had some cool songs. Is it Charlotte?
Charlotte, oh god, there's loads of it. Brackish.
No, Charlotte specifically, which I always really, really liked, because I always liked the clean singing part of that. So I think there was talent there. They had that one album, which was Spit, and that was basically it. I'm not even sure if they're still going these days. I know they were going a few years ago, because we actually, many years ago, went to see them at the Underworld, and it was shocking. We left. Don't often do that at a gig, and it was shocking, so we left. Yeah, that was my one and only time for Kitty. All right, Spiritual Beggars. Name rings a bell.
I don't know if I've heard of these, or this is an album. This is like an album of another band, and I'm taking a name from it.
Right.
See what I mean? I'm sure there's a band with an album called Spiritual Beggars, or Spiritual Beggar. So that one's a bit of a for me. I'm not sure.
Okay, okay.
That, so I'll have to,
Okay, no, I'm with you in that one. Right, then we had Destruction, who are actually added after Entombed was supposed to. It doesn't say why Entombed didn't play. Either they cancelled or they didn't work out. But Entombed was supposed to play and were replaced by Destruction. Of the two, I'd have much rather than Entombed. But 2000 me would not have wanted to see Entombed.
No.
2019, 2020, as we are now, 2020 me would be like, yes, Entombed.
But they'd be like,
Whereas Destruction... if they were at a festival I was at and there was nothing else on, I'd check them out. That's basically the deal with that. The Covenant, spelled with a K.
No, not heard of that one.
No, don't know them. And they're quite high up considering the position, but then mind you, the stage. Then we get Mayhem. 2000's Mayhem. I have no frame of reference.
I wouldn't know.
I have no frame of reference into what 2000 Mayhem would have been like. I can only say I saw Mayhem. Was Mayhem? Yeah. Last year at Incineration Fest, 2019's edition of Incineration Fest. And I enjoyed Mayhem, and I enjoyed the new album. I wouldn't call myself a big fan. No interest in the history either, even though, we know it. But yeah, so I mean, again, with Mayhem nowadays, I wouldn't go out of my way to see them, but if they're at a festival as that, yeah, cool. Check them out.
We don't know how much clashes going on as well at a small festival.
Yeah, it's one day thing, so there has to be some.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the headliners were Immortal. I'm going to, again, talk from a perspective of now. I really wish I'd seen Immortal in their heyday. I really, really do. You know, even if it was to reform in the future, unless Abath is cleaned up and healthy, it's never going to be the same. Well, it's never going to be the same anyway, realistically, because of age and time and stuff like that. I wish I'd seen Immortal in their heyday. I'm a fan. It's a shame that one of those where it's unlikely. I mean, never say never about reuniting, but yeah, it's just one of those where it's like, never came about.
And
Never seen them live. Yeah, I've never even seen Abath live actually.
No, same really. There's a lot of black metal. Again, not growing up with much black metal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in later years, and obviously now it's like a lot of bands like done, not talking to each other, big spats.
Yeah.
Branch off bands, like one letter different and things like that. So that's my reference of it now. But yeah, more that would have been interesting.
I think the overall, the 10th stage would have been, particularly when we come to the main stage, would have been way more interesting for me now. Now I'd be more interested in the 10th stage. Yeah. Whereas back then in the year 2000, truth be told, I'd have been more interested in the main stage.
Yeah.
That was where my music taste was.
Yep.
Although not everyone. Right, so main stage. Again, we start with Zeke. Nope. No fucking clue.
Nope.
The next one. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is Tommy Lee's band, isn't it? Methods of Mayhem. Yeah. Tommy Lee, the drummer of Motley Crue.
Yeah, I know Tommy Lee.
Methods of Mayhem. I'm sure it is. I'm going to check just to confirm. But I'm sure it is. Yep, there it is already. American rock band formed 1999 by Tommy Lee, who would quit his position as Motley Crue's drummer. Yeah, Methods of Mayhem.
That's a naughty thing.
I can't really say much about it. I don't really remember much.
No.
Of Methods of Mayhem.
They hardly lit the world up, because they're not.
No.
Still a thing. They're still like.
The way nostalgia works now, if he was like, "No, we're back," people go nuts for it. So there you go. A Testament.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, we got to try and do it from two perspectives. Now, fat banging. Back then, I certainly wasn't into Testament.
And they're still going around now, Testament.
Yeah, it's good to see
them March, so.
Yeah, it's good to see them going still strong. I've seen them a couple of times now since as well, and they are always very, very good. In fact, when we saw them around house with a Mon and Marth, I think we said Testament was the best band of the night.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing them with Exodus and Death Angel in a few months, so that'll be interesting.
That will be. Then we get one of the worst bands in the entire world that I think should never ever have had a lengthy career, and I would have I hated them back in the day, and I hate them now. It's POD.
I used to love POD.
They're even in my new metal haze, they weren't a band I liked.
Oh, I really like them.
I just really don't like them, and they're still around, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, I can just see me being there going, play that one song that I don't even like, or those two songs that I don't even like.
Yeah. Oh god.
Suicidal tendencies.
They're always about, aren't they? They're always knocking about.
Yeah.
Tendencies.
I've never been a fan. I've gotten to more the last couple of years than I ever did in the past, thanks to album reviews and so on. And I know when they played, it wasn't Bloodstock. Was it Bloodstock 2019 or 2018 that they moved to the tent? No, it was 2018 because Love Bites took their place.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But I gather Suicidal Tendencies ended at the tent, and from what I gather, I didn't see them. But what I gather from the people who did, it was one of those you needed to be there kind of things, which would have been cool to experience. But have I seen them live? No, I've never seen them live. No,
I don't think I have. Really don't think I have. No. But yeah, I can see why they get booked as well, because obviously they cover quite a lot of.
It's punk hardcore and
they kind
metal
of like if you had a Venn diagram, Suicidal Tendencies would be quite.
Yeah, I think so. It'd be definitely a massive amount of crossover appeal. It's funny to see this band third from top. Don't get me wrong. At this point, it's still third from top, considering who's above them is impressive. But it is funny to see Slipknot at a festival not headlining.
Yeah.
Imagine that nowadays.
Well, only a year after the Slipknot, the album, the first
99.
album.
Yeah, 99.
Not even a year after.
And Iowa was what, 2003 maybe?
I was 2001.
Okay, well,
yeah.
But yeah, so Slipknot. Seen them live loads of times. Unlikely to really ever go on my way to see them live again, unless they're at a festival like that was at. But even then, I'd probably be more interested in going to see something else.
Yeah. But back then, 2000 would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I do wish I'd kind of seen Slipknot in their most chaotic days.
Yeah. Cool.
That would have been cool as fuck. But that isn't the case. I don't think I saw them live until about It's been in the last decade, 2010 onwards. Definitely not before then. Definitely didn't see him before then.
I think I saw him 2000. My first.
Oh no, tell a lie! I did.
Yeah,
I saw them at
London Arena.
London Arena. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and actually that was Iowa time, so it was pretty chaotic.
I saw 2004. I saw them with Slipknot. Sorry, with Slipknot. I saw them with Slayer. They had our Unholy Alliance.
Okay.
So that was my first experience seeing them live. And that was pretty cool, actually. Actually, did I see them down there before? I lose track of Slipknot. I've seen them quite a lot of times. But yeah, getting them the whole sit the fuck down thing.
See, but cool. To me, like that,
I couldn't do that now.
That's cool once, but the fact that happens every time is less interesting to me. It just becomes a gimmick to me.
Yeah.
However, there's no getting away from it if you are an amazing band live. Let's not be stupid about it, Then we get Korn. 2000 Korn. So what was this? Issues?
I think. Oh god, I lose track of albums. I'm terrible.
It's after Follow the Leader. So Korn. No, is it? Fuck, my god. So I'm trying to think now because. So what? Self-titled was 95, 96 maybe.
Yeah, because my first.
Life is Peachy 98. I'm losing track of this.
But yeah, my first time seeing Korn was 2002, and that was Here to Stay. What album was that? Was it actually called Here to Stay?
No, that was God damn it, Lou. That was Korn's fifth album. After Issues was
Trivia.
It was Untouchables.
Yeah,
Untouchables. There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of like still going pretty strong. Cool.
It's a strong Korn. It's a strong Korn. This is still to me the best years. Follow the Leader, Issues, and Untouchables. Arguably their strength, even though I do love the debut album. Life is Peachy is hit and miss for me. So for me, the strength is Follow the Leader, Issues that I am a big fan of, and Untouchables, which while we've done a track by track, and you can check that out, is incredibly. It has got some bangers on it.
Yeah. And
then of course we have what headliner would be doing headline shows in 2000? Go down the list. Metallica. Yeah. You're probably going to come to it. If not your first, it'll be your second.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
They're headlining Download 2020. One of the headliners of Download 2020. So 20 years later, they're still. It's Iron Maiden. This isn't a mocking of them. It's not. It's a mocking of their festival booking system more than anything else. However, but as Iron Maiden, I would love to know what was the last festival that Iron Maiden were booked at where they didn't headline.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, what was the last... That's a trivia quiz.
Oh,
yeah, like what... So you go decades, probably the 80s.
Yeah.
But it would probably be early 80s, like where they were... maybe even this,
Like Monsters of Rock, where it weren't...
Where there was someone just considered bigger than them, kind of thing. Yeah. Like where they weren't booked as a headliner. Yeah. I'll imagine we've got to go a very long way back to find that. It's Maiden. I've seen them live. I've never seen Maiden live in my most desirable position. That's the one thing. So I am looking to go catch them live in the future.
At their own show?
Yeah, kind of like the Legacy of the Beast stuff they're doing and that kind of thing, where it's like the best of. That will be the box tick, done, move on. Yeah. Kind of thing. That's what I'm after. That kind of show. That I want. That will be my Iron Maiden. Okay, cool. I'm going to pay you the money, the 60 odd quid, whatever it costs. Let's do this. That kind of thing. Because and I'm okay a lot with Maiden for that because Maiden, they're relevant. They continue to try and stay relevant by releasing new music.
Yeah.
It's not like Dynamo 2000 was Iron Maiden's best. What came after that? In fact, Brave New World came out in 2000.
So that's what that.
Wait, no, was that right? No.
Around that time.
It was around that time. Brave New World was around that time because I bought that album. It was my first ever Iron Maiden experience as a, Brave New World, which I have a lot of love for because of that very reason. So, would have been cool actually. Yeah.
I'll say I can definitely see now, looking at this, why it went from 3 day to 1 day. I've not looked at all the bands on the 99 lineup, but you can see why it probably went. Let's just like shorten off its time space and have more bigger bands.
Well, we go back to 99 quickly without going too much detail because we will cover it in a later one. Friday wasn't a full day. And the main stage headliners for Saturday and Sunday was Man of War and Metallica. Yeah. So they had money.
So they always had money.
They had money.
Patronising, all little festival.
Yeah, no, they had money, yeah.
Maybe just the sheer... the logistic. I can't say that word. Logistics.
Maybe it just wasn't financially viable. Yeah. And we should also add that Seven Dust were booked to play at the year 2000, but didn't. it just says cancelled. They didn't look like they were replaced. But then, no, oh no, Seven Dust, what are we to do? So I think it's a decent day festival. I think it's a decent day festival.
Belgium?
Oh, fuck's sake. You said there's one at the start.
Yeah.
I think it's Belgium.
I'm sure it is.
Sure, there's Netherlands.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Right, so it was reborn in 2008 as Dynamo Outdoor, and 2015 as Dynamo Metal Fest. So it's been through the ringer, basically, and been on and off since 1986.
Wow.
But yeah, I think overall it's a good festival. I think even more nowadays, reflection, excusing the likes of POD and Methods of Mayhem, I think I could have had fun at that festival. Yeah. And there you go. There's our festival flashback for Dynamo Open Air, Dynamo Festival, we're going to call it, for the year 2000. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?